All right. Greetings and welcome, everyone, to our little happy hour series that we've started here. I think we've had Mellow Monday, we've had Electric Tuesday, Wacky Wednesday, Thoughtful Thursday, and today, essentially Freeform Friday, which has been used a lot. But the idea of it is each Friday will be a different theme, starting with the letter F. I think that's where we're going to start for now, F for Friday. Or something else that maybe doesn't start with the letter F, but is absolutely perfect that fits very well with Friday. Anyways, today we're going to do Form and Layer Friday. How's that for abstracting something? So what I have here, as you can see, is paintings of mine, two in particular that I've set up. One is very much a form and layer piece. As you can see, the forms are even 3D and the layers are very, very thick, mostly paint, mixed mediums, and some various things, some recycled material and whatnot, and lots of paint. So this is one piece that I'm showing here for Form and Layer Friday, as well as this, because this piece also is really a good example for form and layer. It's an exploring contrast piece, or it's a harmony of contrast. This was a piece where I discovered in action the idea of using stark contrast. When I get to a point, like start with a piece, there's two contrasts, then you paint, and then things might get flat or muddy or feeling a little bit like, oh, what do I do? So I add the thing that would contrast the most with this. So I added it, and then I add a little bit more of that until it was no longer as strong a contrast. Then I'd add the next thing, what would contrast? And I kept building up these contrasts, and that's how I got these gray forms, and then brought up to these bright, wider forms and shapes that are just a lot of different. But then the idea is to make it all work in a composition and find harmony and beauty in it. So, anyways, yes, thank you for listening, sharing my little paintings here. And we will be on our way for Form and Layer Friday, part of the Free Friday scheme in our little happy hour give or take series we're doing this week. This is Art4Truth. We are Art4Truth, and I appreciate every single, no, not just person, every single entity who has taken a moment to see what I'm doing and perhaps appreciate it. So thank you very much for your ear and your time. And we will work on form and layers, but I'm going to do my quick version. I can talk a little bit about my own art. So right now, in this day and age, yes, most of us are quarantined or under orders to not leave the house for many things. A lot of the places that we go to are closed. So yes, we're home, we're with our families, many of us out of work, many of us furloughed, some of us continuing our work because we who work from our homes. And many people working from their homes, children in school in their homes because they're not in school. So, all that to say, you gotta do something with your time and not go stir crazy. And I'm talking about art, make art, do creative things, do craft projects, spend time with your family making art, spend time alone making art. If you can, any type of art, it's all open. Do some sewing projects, some gardening, all these things. But I think to separate sewing as art from just sewing as sewing, and even painting as art from painting as painting, if there's anything that will, and I think art can be anything, but if there's anything that art is it in some way, shape, or form needs to exhibit your own personal connection to whatever it is that you are doing. Something that is not, maybe it's not the most unique looking thing in the world, maybe it's not groundbreaking or whatever, and it does not have to be, but it's something that is you. Something that is not copied, basically. Something that doesn't look specifically like anything else has ever done. similar fashion or style to, the Impressionists or some type of realism or whatnot. Or whatever it is you might do, even if you have a garden. I just pray that you just don't copy anybody else or have any real specific expectation on how it might turn out. If it's gardening, throw some random seeds in some few places and see what happens. If it's painting and you do realistic stuff mostly, close your eyes and put a few strokes on your piece and see what happens, and then build it from there. The more you're connected to it, to painting in the act, you'll be able to find a way to layer it in and make it work and make it beautiful somehow. Somehow make things your own, I guess is what I'm saying. But make art in some fashion, capacity, if you're a musician and you do cover songs. Keep on. It's very important, I think, for people to keep other people's music going. I suggest doing obscure cover songs if you can, especially people who are into obscure music. And again, make them your own. Put your own little feeling or love into it, and your own little thing that's you. Maybe it's something that you know about your voice or your look or whatever it is that you're doing. Make it a real part of you. I'm trying to include everything in the realm of art because I believe everything is art, and part of it, every single one of us is a stroke of paint. Everything from the microcosm to the macrocosm of everything that could possibly be. Layered, yes, layers, formed and layered into a giant cognitive compass, a giant cognitive infinity of strokes, of variables in artwork. The will of our existence, God, call it when you will. Will. The energy of creativity that spawns from nothing, that is a sense of throwing some elements together with some love and some intention, and giving them free choice and free will and randomness and serendipity, and somehow yet there's a compositional reality to it, a purpose, even if that purpose is always seen as it evolves. Same thing like a painting. This painting, for example, and especially this painting. Now, when this painting was found its purpose, which is to say the contrast idea, well, that was more of wasn't a purpose so much as it was a guideline for this particular piece, or an idea in which to grow this particular universe. But I didn't have an intention of how it would look. I was just guided by this idea and then told to stop when I felt it was all right. So the more we connect to that creative essence of composition in life, the more we will be connected to the infinite forms and layers of infinity, and how there's always a room for something to be. So without further ado, we're going to musically start layering some stuff. It's probably going to get a little noisy and weird at some point, just to let you know. Once again, if you're still with us, thank you all very much for your ear and your time. Art4Truth. thank you. We'll do at least one more layered jam, depending on how long it is. And do not a super long on these happy hour jams, I would say. You can check out YouTube. In fact, please do like, share, subscribe, and all that stuff. I do post regularly other things, including I will likely do a good long jam tonight and have that up there by tomorrow. So in the meantime, I've got all kinds of other content, art lessons, and lots of jams, studio content. So please check it out. YouTube Art4Truth with a 4. I hope at least, I believe, is the groove of it, the space created by the elements of the layers, the shapes of the music. And they're there. Well, thank you very, very much for joining us for our more or less happy hour weekly. Oh, that's awesome. Layers, right? Form and layers. That's what we're talking about. All right, and beyond that, thank you all very much again for being here. This was Form and Layer Friday, where we did some interesting experiment with lots of layers and trying to, and finding space and form in the music. And it was a lot of fun for me. I hope you had some fun too. Thanks again for your ear and your time. We'll be back tomorrow. And we will Saturday. What's that going to be? I haven't even thought about that yet. Subversive Saturday. We're going to talk about some issues that might raise, we'll just call it Subversive Saturday because there's a lot of things out there that need to be addressed that some people don't necessarily like to talk about. Maybe that's what we'll do. And maybe it'll have a lot of manners and maybe it won't be all that subversive, but we're going to try at least to talk about a little bit of something or other, hopefully in a good way, a positive, provocative way, because that's what being subversive really should be about, I think. Anyways, thank you all once again. We're calling it for the night, and there'll be some more jamming later. Check out the YouTube, Art4Truth YouTube for more. Thank you once again.